Closer look at the main issues of concern Suncoast residents are asking about, like unemployment, stimulus checks. Is it safe to go shopping? Where can I get supplies? How can I pay my bills? We want to welcome Congressman Greg Steube. Thanks for joining us tonight, Congressman.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Congressman Steube, many people are upset with the unemployment system here in Florida lately, and I know you've been discussing this on your social media in the past week. You had a town hall last week. Now, with the latest updates to the system provided by the governor, have you seen an improvement in the number of people calling your office, and are they getting the help they need?
Yes, we have. And I would say that was probably the largest volume of calls that we got as it relates to issues that people were having, was addressing their unemployment compensation. At the federal level, we appropriate the dollars and then the state agencies administer the funds. So we were trying to route people to their state house and state senators and to the governor's office, but it seems as though that has worked itself out. I haven't been getting as many calls as people having challenges with that. So that tells me that that's no longer an issue.
So what other big frustrations are those in your district, the 17th district, facing right now?
You know, it's kind of changed as the pandemic has changed. In the very beginning, as soon as I got back from Washington, I called all the CEOs of my hospitals, called all of my county health departments, and the issues at that moment in time was face masks, face shields, PPE, and the COVID-19 test swabs. So in the very beginning, it was making sure that our healthcare providers had the things that they needed in order to take care of our district. And then that kind of subsided and people were getting what they needed. You don't hear from healthcare operators too often very more asking for more things. They seem to be getting everything from FEMA. They seem to be getting everything from the state that they need to take care of folks. And then once we passed the bill, the issue then became small businesses asking how they could get the small business loans to keep their employees on payroll. So that kind of took up a lot of our time, was ensuring that small businesses under 500 employees had the information that they needed to do to go to the individual banks to go through the process and get those SBA loans. We're starting to see the SBA loans. I think by the end of this week, those amounts will be completely gone. So I encourage any small businesses that haven't done it to get to their local banks to try to get those resources. But I do anticipate the federal government reissuing the amount specifically for the small businesses in the SBA loan. So it's kind of changed over the course of the pandemic, but that's kind of where we're at now.
Okay, so we know those small businesses are certainly struggling right now and probably will into our future. Some reports, specifically one from our parent company with Gray TV, our investigative team, says that money from the Paycheck Protection Program may run out, with many businesses receiving nothing. So what are some recommendations you would give to those small business owners right now?
Well, I think it's going to get done to replenish that fund. The president and the Republican leadership in Congress tried to get that done late last week, and it was blocked by Senator Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, unfortunately, because they didn't want to just reauthorize the amount of money that had already been authorized for specifically SBA. They wanted all these other things to be negotiated and put in there when the president and the Republican leader of the Senate was just specifically going to put more money behind that. So I think that's going to happen at some point in time. We had a conference call yesterday, the day before, with Secretary Munchin, the Treasury Secretary, who's now negotiating with Speaker Pelosi to try to ensure that at a minimum those dollars into the SBA loans get put in. So I think small businesses are going to get that money. If they're keeping employees on the payroll, I would ensure that the money's going to be there.
Okay, certainly important. Well, we know the COVID-19 crisis puts our seniors at a higher risk when it comes to their health, but when it comes to their finances, are there any sorts of breaks for seniors in their retirement funds in this age of COVID-19? We know many people are getting the stimulus checks, but anything in the works for those senior citizens?
As far as senior citizens, it's the same. You know, obviously they can take advantage if they're unemployed. They can take advantage of those type of things. There's a lot of money that's gone towards Medicare and healthcare to ensure that people that are on Medicare are getting reimbursed if they do test positive for COVID-19, and the hospitals are getting reimbursed for that. There are other things in the bills that relates to seniors, and we can put that out on our Facebook page and get that out to our people in our district. We actually have the second oldest district in all of Congress, so that is obviously an issue that we face in District 17.
Okay, thank you, Congressman Greg Steube, for taking the time to join us tonight.